The dazed girl had just opened her eyes when she found a disgusting object stuffed into her mouth. She instinctively reached out with both hands, but the foreign object in her mouth choked her, making her cough uncontrollably. Her mind was a complete blur. She could only endure the exhaustion and the weakness of her body, anxiously trying to remove the gag from her mouth. But to her horror, she found a lock firmly securing it. She began to panic, looking around for help but couldn't find anyone. Already uneasy, the unfamiliar environment made the girl even more terrified. However, just then, the appearance of one person instantly gave her a little sense of security. But the stranger's next actions left her bewildered. The woman took a safety pin from her name tag, then rubbed it vigorously on her hair. She then picked up a leaf from the ground and threw it into a puddle. Next, she placed the safety pin on top of it. As the leaf stopped spinning on the water, this simple compass quickly helped her determine the direction. Seeing the only person she had met since waking up turn and walk away, the girl didn't hesitate and immediately followed. She needed to understand why she was here. A moment later, the girl arrived at an open area. She then realized there were a total of 11 victims, and they all wore the same collars as her. At this moment, a huge wooden box stood in the center of the lawn. A bold uncle directly picked up a crowbar and walked forward, wanting to see what secrets it held. When a crack was pried open in the wooden box, an old man not far away was so frightened that he ran away, clutching his head, fearing any traps might affect him. But his fear seemed to domino, and the girl next to him was also infected by the tense atmosphere, quickly retreating with him. Until the side of the wooden box was forcibly torn open, everyone held their breath, their eyes fixed in one direction. They wouldn't appear here for no reason, so this highly suspicious wooden box must have a problem. But the next second, a pet pig walked out of it. Everyone looked at this dramatic scene in disbelief, but it also confirmed that there was no danger, which made a dozen people secretly breathe a sigh of relief. However, just then, the uncle closest to the wooden box noticed something unusual. He vaguely saw that there seemed to be something else inside that hadn't come out yet. Everyone's nerves tensed again, all ready to run away at any moment. Only the calm-faced uncle slowly reached his hand in. At this moment, he seemed to touch a handle, so he quickly pulled it out. Seeing a backdrop with a pile of weapons, everyone rushed forward excitedly. In this unfamiliar environment, only holding the equalizer would give them a sense of security. But unlike the others, the girl's attention was deeply attracted by the dismantled wooden door, discovering a small paper packet stuck to its back. She quickly walked over. Although her guess was correct, the lock was indeed opened effortlessly. So everyone followed suit, finally unlocking their mouth restraints. The freed girl immediately asked what had happened, but the answer she received was a weapon. The girl, stunned for a second, suddenly understood. It turned out that by just hooking a finger, bullets could be fired. The girl holding the gun immediately fell into distress. As a good girl, she had never encountered such a situation, but just then, a sniper bullet instantly hit the backdrop. The crisis came so unexpectedly. The girl could only follow the man beside her and hide behind the wooden box. However, the next second, with the girl's death, the hunting game officially began. Watching a life disappear beside him, the man was stunned, but a strong will to survive quickly helped him control his body. So he decisively hid himself behind the wooden box. Around the corner, he saw a woman hiding on the side, not daring to move. As bullets kept coming, the two finally figured out where they were being shot from. And at this moment, a victim, unwilling to be prey, rushed towards the ground with a submachine gun. But the result was tragic. The girl hiding in the wooden box collapsed. She abandoned the box that could block bullets and ran forward defenselessly through a hail of gunfire. But as she ran, she disappeared, until a cry for help came from not far away. The man realized that the girl was very likely in danger. Remembering her previous actions, he couldn't stand by. Completely disregarding the dense bullets, he rushed forward. Fortunately, the protagonist's halo was too strong. She arrived unharmed at a huge pit, but the sight before her made her gasp. The girl's chest and calf were pierced by iron spikes in the pit. He wanted to offer comfort, but now was not the time to lower his guard. So the man hurriedly reached out, pulling the girl out of the trap from the ground. Excruciating pain instantly swept through her body. However, she still endured it. Afterwards, the two supported each other, preparing to escape this hell together. But how could they, facing the hunter's meticulously designed manor, get what they wished for? By this point, 3 of the 11 people had already died here. However, thanks to their delay, the remaining few gained valuable time. The surviving prey fled, finally reaching the edge of the manor. As long as they crossed this barbed wire fence, they would gain freedom. Immediately, several people covered it with their coats and climbed over one after another. But when it was the last person's turn, an arrow suddenly appeared. This scene scared the old man so much that he lost control of his bladder. His teammates urged him to hurry, but it was too late. The incoming volley of arrows struck the old man's chest. Seeing that he no longer had the strength to escape, he decided to fight to the death. Before dying, he wanted to take someone with him. At this moment, the old man, whose life was about to end, was fearless. Although adrenaline gave him immense courage, he didn't even see the killer's face before he was shot through the carotid artery by a hail of arrows and collapsed on the ground. The three, who thought they had escaped the chase, arrived at a gas station. Their sudden breaking in startled the couple in the store, but seeing an elderly couple behind the counter, the three lowered their guard. One of the women even had a big heart, unhesitatingly picking up food from the store and eating it. But the next second, her face changed dramatically, and she collapsed on the ground. Everyone was puzzled, not understanding what had happened until the old couple in the store put on gas masks and threw a gas bomb from their hands. The man then realized that they were also hunters, but it was too late. The old couple cleanly dealt with the three. Then they began to clean up the bodies and opened the exhaust fan in the room. The poison gas was thus discharged. The methods were so smooth, as if hinting that this was not the first time they had done such a thing.